Heroes, Funnifyic, Funnifyic, you already know what it is. So yeah, Memer, tell us where we left off.
We left off with Aiden spilling Dr. Pepper all over his laptop.
Yo, Josiah FTW, he said,
Hey.
what is Jank Heroes? So since it is the 30th episode, I think it would be a good idea to talk about it. Jank Heroes is a role-playing game that I made up. This is the newest version of Jank Heroes. There have been older versions in the past. Right now, we're currently exploring the Memer Saga. The Memer is the character that Winslow, aka Aiden, aka AP, plays. Yo, Nerd Tanker, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you.
Said Jet.
So, what we're going to be doing is going through his latest episode, episode 30. So, he'll be playing it on the live stream. There's like a live stream where you watch him play through it. You can see his adventures, and people in the chat can play along as well. So, it's rather interesting. Right now, I'm going to type test into the live chat. There we go. Now I'm able to see the live chat on my laptop. It wasn't working at first, but that's something that's happened before. Josiah said, nice. Yeah. So tell us where the memer left off last time in Jank Heroes Funnifyic.
So the memer left off with, I just wanted to say, when we were at dinner tonight, what was cracking me up so much, when you were talking about the freshman 15, I thought it'd be really interesting if for everybody else it was a weight thing and for one person it was an age thing, and they were like, I'm 15 years old, I don't know what.
And they're just like, I was about to say 30 in college, but I've forgotten that everyone's Riri Williams. People aren't 15 in college. Nerdtanker said, I forgot where I was. I think I saw Hellrider in a Pizza Hut. You are in like a Pizza Hut in hell. Oh, but if you're gonna play Nerdtanker, you gotta try and connect it back to what's going on in the memer. We can't be too off topic.
So, thank you. So the whole thing is, right now, I essentially sucked up a baby who blew up my base, and I got all the dough people from the dough people upgrade place, because they were torturing the fuck out of them. So now they're all in wormholes. The dough people are in one wormhole and a black hole, and the dude's in another one.
I'd like it if you called them like pocket dimensions, since you literally put them in your pocket and you can open them up.
Okay.
I mean, I get what they are, but I mean, technically they're all black holes, but you're manipulating them in ways that essentially just make them other things.
I get you.
Plus, people understand what that means.
Yeah.
Not everyone who jumps in will be like, oh, singularity.
Yeah.
That holds thing. Yeah. Nerd Tanker said, I'm a try, lol, to like keep it on topic with your thing.
Try.
Okay, so what are you doing now?
So I'm going to.
Where are you?
I'm still standing at the dough people place. Because remember, I reached and I picked dude up. So I call plain white.
Nerd Tanker asked Hellrider if he can get a trip back to like the city. Hellrider can open up a stairwell for you from the Pizza Hut that can lead back to like the upper world. You call Plain White?
Mm-hmm.
Shredder said that. Yo, Shredder, welcome to the stream. Don't forget to smash that like button. Plain White's like, oh hey.
I'm like, hey, did you see my plane? My place got blown the fuck up.
Remember?
Yeah.
I was the one who drove a drone, and
And remember that didn't work? It blew up.
It got shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got him.
But of course, that just happened.
Did you see me get him?
No.
I got him.
Wow, congrats on getting them.
Yeah. So now, do you have like a jail plane?
A jail plane?
I need.
Yeah,
not
I
to
have.
take people to jail, but like that is specifically a prison.
Yeah,
plane
that is a prison plane.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's really interesting.
It is.
Why do you have a jail plane?
I have a plane for everything. I'm glad you asked. No one ever asked me about
Do you have an
my.
orgy plane? Do you have I specifically have a kink for getting shit on plane?
Damn, you got me. Okay, I don't literally have a plane, but for like superhero stuff, I do have a plane for everything.
Okay.
Shredder asked, "What is going on?" This is Jank Heroes Funnifyic. It's a role-playing game that I made up that's based around superheroes, and we're currently playing with Aiden's character, and we have Nerd Tanker, whose character is also doing something. Nerd Tanker said, "Then I tell him to make me a staircase, please."
Stairway to heaven.
Hellrider creates a stairwell that connects the Pizza Hut in Hell back to Springdale, that you can like walk up and it will take you to Springdale. Let's see, and the Nerd Tanker says this is roleplay. He's like, I have a plan for everything, superhero-wise.
Okay.
Like how Batman in comics has a batarang for everything, but he doesn't have one for like jacking himself off. Like that's
Yeah,
not
he
how
does.
his.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
He's a racist.
He has like 100 different batarangs. They're not for that.
He's got.
Shredder said, "Can there be a strip club in the Pizza Hut?" Nerd Tanker didn't explore it longer. Who
There's
knows what
one
was
of
in the Pizza
everything.
Hut? Well, that was in Hell, not in Springfield.
So my whole thing, I need to use your prison plane so that I can throw this baby guy into it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna fly overhead. I'm used to having them be put in a separate thing,
Yeah.
and that thing flies them into the bigger plane.
Can you
I'd
do
rather
that?
do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bring a drone over. You're going to have him be dropped into that drone. It's gonna seal the door really quickly. There's like a very small window for it to be like dropped in, and it's gonna take him to like the
I
prison.
mean, I'm
plane.
not gonna drop it in. I'll just connect the black.
It
hole
is like
to-
D&D.
I'll just connect the black hole to the opening and then drop it in.
Yeah.
But the black hole will still be there until it closes. So in the case that he tries to escape, he'll just escape back into the black hole.
Okay. So he's beep boop beep boop beep. Yo, boss mode. Welcome to the stream. Don't forget to smash that like button. Also, Shredder, you might enjoy this then.
He loves Dan.
So he goes dee 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 doo, and like the drone comes and the door opens.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. So create a little. Wait, let me get my character.
Yeah, he's gonna pull up his character sheet, so he'll
I'm
be
gonna
able
pull up
to
my character meet.
check out how many power usages he has and make sure that he marks them and everything, and health in case he gets hurt. You know, that kind of thing. Also, thank you for all smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it, especially on our 30th episode of Jank Heroes Funnifyic. Truly appreciate it. Boss Mode said, what are you talking about? Right now we're playing Jank Heroes Funnifyic, which is a superhero role-playing game. Similar to that D&D kind of thing that I made up. Right now, the memer is playing with his character. He's trying to get a baby sniper put into a prison plane.
Yes.
And we have Nerd Tanker, who said, before I go, I have this Hell Rider. I give him the pizza in the Pizza Hut box. Hell Rider's like, thanks, I guess.
So I tell Plain White, this guy might have a sniper rifle with him. Is there anything in the cell that can, like, is an artificial intelligence that can remove weapons from him?
The way that they're all segregated in the plane, it shouldn't matter what he has. He won't really be able to use that sniper rifle to any useful effect in the plane prison.
So it's just that strong a cell? It's like glass and it's like super reinforced or something?
Well, it's not glass. It's just the way that they're all like separated and like contained.
But, like,
If
if I
he
wanna
shot
talk
his
to him-
cell, it wouldn't cause any problems like to his cell.
Will I be able to see him and talk to him?
So you want to interrogate him?
Yes.
The plane prison is pretty dangerous. We would probably separate him from that and take him to the interrogation jet for that specific purpose.
Can you just send the interrogation jet?
Oh, well, I have the pod. I can. The pod can take it. Hold on.
Thank
Let's see. Boss Mode said, okay, I'll play too. Okay, Boss Mode, we have a video that's like how to make your own character for Jank Heroes Funnifyic. You're going to want to check out that video, and then from there, you'll build a character, and then you can jump in and start playing the game. Nerd Tanker said, now then, I'm back to Springdale. Welcome back, Nerd Tanker. Shredder said, so what happens if one of the characters run into a robot by the name of Stephen Hawking, a version of...
I guess I'm waiting for the plane.
Well, the pod's here.
Oh, the pod's there?
Yeah.
So I create a little black hole.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I open the black hole
That you already have.
that I had for him specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And then I, like, open it just big enough
Mm-hmm.
to fit around the opening of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, whoop it on top of there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I, like, send him out of it into the cell. And then I hold it on top of there until I hear the door close.
You hear the pod go. Nothing has entered the pod. Nerd Tanker said, now where's the memer? You could use your subspace communicator to try and find him.
So I keep, like, doing it.
Nothing has entered the pod. Plain White's like, I'm getting readings that nothing has entered the pod. Is everything alright?
I'm like, you must construct additional pylons. So then I, like, revert it back and I make it really tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And I manipulate the shape of it to look inside and see what's in there?
It's empty.
How?
You don't know.
Escape fucking singer. Okay. So
Oh, Nerd Tanker said, "Hey, Memer, where are you right now?" He's talking to you via subspace.
I am trying to deal with this shit. So I go back to my base. I'm like, hey, can you take me back to my base, plain white? Because fucking he's not here. He escaped. Also, can you send your drones on the lookout for a baby with a sniper rifle? Or at least a sentient, smart baby?
Yeah, I can send drones to look out for baby snipers.
Thank you. Or even
Beep,
one that
boop,
not
beep, boop,
necessarily just is a sniper, but a smart, really intelligent, like hyper-intelligent baby.
I got 2 flags.
Got you.
One is for,
Also, are you sending that transport one? I would appreciate it.
yeah, I'll send a little drone to come for transport. Where you want to go again?
My baby.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there's a place that's straight up like intelligent baby company, and it's like a company that is run by and produces hyper intelligent babies.
So, is this Boss Baby?
You mean the film by DreamWorks?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Boss Baby. Is that what it's about?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And then there's another building, and that building is all about baby assassins, but not all of them are hyper intelligent. And they have a code against killing babies. They don't kill their own.
I guess let's go to the baby assassin.
You want to go to a place that's just a bunch of assassins?
Let's give him a call.
Let's see. Nerd Tanker said I have a rocket ship memer if you need to get off planet for whatever reason.
Thank you. If I really need to quick, I'll just fucking get a jet.
And then Boss Mode said, yeah, he thinks you look like Stephen Hawking's son. Also, Boss Mode, if you go to the channel and you type in like Jank, how to create a character in Jank Heroes, a video should come up for you. That'll teach you how to do it.
Also, I'm a physicist, so that's really cool. Thank you.
Also, cool shirt pockets, 20 points.
Thank you.
Not those don't help you in the game at all.
No, I got 20 points.
Nerd Tanker said, so you need to get off the planet?
Nope, not right now. Thank you.
Plain White's like, it's legal to call them, but it's not legal to ask them to kill anyone.
That's fine. I don't care. I need to get information.
Okay. Do you have a phone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you should just call them.
What's the number?
Oh, I'll send it to you. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
Thank you. Then I hit call.
Okay, you call the number. Google Gaga!
Hello.
Google Gaga!
Do you have anyone there that speaks more fluent English? I have some questions that I'd like answered.
Google Gaga.
I'm like, I understand. I guess I'm trying to, I'm not fully understanding.
It's just loud crying now.
And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. I hope you can understand. I didn't mean to insult you.
This is just wintering now?
And I'm like, I'm really sorry. I hope I can patch things up between us. You seem like a nice enough person.
You hear loud snoring.
I'm like, okay. I hang up the phone. Can you send me the number to the hyper-intelligent babies?
Oh, sure. Beep, boop, beep. He sends you the number of the hyper-intelligent babies.
Can I call that place?
Boss Mode said Timothy Hawkins. Then Nerd Tanker said, but that doesn't prevent me from helping you. Yeah, Nerd Tanker can still help, I guess.
Yeah, so I call them.
Okay, so you call the hyper-intelligent babies. Oh, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well.
I have some questions about another
Yo, Scavenger, welcome.
baby-run business in town. It seems as though a base of mine was blown up by what appears to be an assassin baby, and I don't believe it was a hyper-intelligent baby because I didn't hear English unless I'm just misunderstanding the way that hyperintelligence works in infants. But I didn't hear language, it was just more goo goo gaga. And I understand that it could have potentially been this other place that's an assassin network run by babies. I was wondering if you could give me any information or maybe help me find someone who could help me navigate that to get some answers, because when I tried to call originally, I couldn't fully understand what was going on or how to correctly do what I needed to do.
So, baby hyperintelligence is rather interesting. Thank you for smashing the like button. Truly appreciate it. Nerd Tanker says he's coming for you. Scavenger said, thank you for the reminder. No problem. Thank you guys for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. So, the hyperintelligent baby's like, oh, so you like to learn more about baby hyperintelligence? That's fine. Could you come down to our offices? It's just easier. We have like a video,
Okay.
and we like to show the video to people.
Sure.
We also like to show off our offices, which is why it's just not like on the internet. Like we want people to get the full experience.
And I'm like, I'd love to.
We want baby rights.
Absolutely, and I completely agree. However, do you think, as I come to meet you for your office, you might be able to help me find somebody or get me connected with somebody at this meeting who I could use as sort of a guide into helping me with this situation that I'm in?
Yeah. Do you mind if we send? We got an intern, Karen in accounting.
Mm-hmm.
Intern. It doesn't matter what department they're in. We can get them to do whatever they want.
Do you think she'll be effective despite the fact that she's an accountant?
Yeah. So she's one of those like really gifted students, but she doesn't have any experience, so she can't get like a real job. But she's better than me, kind of thing. So we just put her somewhere. Kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm happy to help out. Absolutely, and thank you for helping me out.
I like what Scavenger said, accounting Karen.
Right. So I get on the drone, the plane lights up, and I'm like, can you send me to the hyper-intelligent Navy office, please?
Beep boop beep boop beep.
Thank you.
No problem.
So I get little drone guy out of my pocket. Okay. We're going to do cool stuff. I'm glad you're awake.
What day is it?
Yesterday.
Oh, I went back in time? Does that mean I'm back at the store?
No.
Oh, okay. Am I back at the history place?
No.
Oh, okay. That's good
You're
news.
still with me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I feel dirty.
Why do you feel dirty?
I have dry mud on me now.
Oh. So I look around the thing to see if there's any like bottles of water.
You see no bottles of water on the train. You're not like on a plane.
So I'm like, the place that we're going, I'm sure will have bathrooms, which will have water, and I can wash you off, if that'll be all right for your dough.
I don't know. I've never bathed.
How do you think removing the crust yourself would be easier or worse?
I imagine that'd be like removing flesh from my body.
Okay, then let's not do that.
I don't know. It sounds kind of fun.
Do you think you'd be able to put it back?
I don't know. I've never tried.
Well, I'm not willing to risk that, but if that's something you want to find out yourself, I won't stop you. And just be careful. You're my little buddy.
Okay, I can try. He reaches down and grabs like a
Like
big
a small
strip
piece.
of
A
dirt.
small piece. Try it with a small piece so you don't hurt yourself.
He was like, okay, I'll try. And he like pinches like between his fingers the dirt and he tries to tug it. And then his like fingertips are ripped off.
No.
And he's like, I'm not very strong.
And I'm like, I understand. I'm sorry, bud.
These aren't really fingers anymore. They're just kind of stumps.
I'm sorry.
I can't bend them.
I'm sorry.
I can bend these though.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Not
still
my
have
thumb
some.
though.
I'm sorry.
Or my pointer finger. It can point. It can still do what it's made to do.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. We can get you some help at some point. Or we're gonna try and figure out how to get that dirt off you safely, and then we're gonna get you some help to fix your hair. Cool.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Cool.
I'll give you a thumb. You may not notice that it's a thumb, but it is thumb.
I'm glad. So let's can you try and put those back on, those fingers?
Let's see. Nerd Tanker said, I'm here now. What do you want me to do? Well, he's flying on a drone that's not made for multiple people to be on.
Don't be on it. Please.
Scavenger said, so I teleport to Winslow and I got the pot lollipop.
Don't.
So too many people are on your drone.
I quickly tuck it back in my pocket. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna protect you.
What?
I'm like, the plane's gonna go down.
So there are too many people on the drone.
Fucking God. I'm like, plain white. Plain white. There's too many people on this drone. Something's going wrong. We're about to crash your drone.
Undertaker's like, I don't like flying, and the drone's like, beep, beep,
And
beep.
I'm like, can you help? Can you help out? Is there anything you can do about this? What do you recommend I do?
Scavenger said I give Doughboy the lollipop, but he already put Doughboy in his pocket.
Yeah.
So Scavenger's just like, let's see.
Wait, I called plain white.
Nertanker said, so it's Winslow and Scavenger. Then Scavenger said, this is nasty.
I called plain white.
So Plain White's like, oh, it looks like you're on a collision course with the intelligent baby.
And I'm
please."
like, no. Can you help to steer us away in any way?
I don't think I can.
I'm like,
I'll
okay.
like manually take.
Yes.
Let's see if he's fast enough to do it.
Wait, if not, I'm gonna try and open a fucking black hole. in
Well, you
front
don't
of us.
know.
He said we're on a collision course.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you don't know how quickly he can.
So then I say, all right, what I'm probably gonna do, I'm gonna just throw us all into a
4
black hole.
seconds.
I open up a big black hole in front of us, and we go into the black hole.
Okay, you guys fly into the black hole.
Awesome. So then
Nertanker said on the drone. Then Scavenger said, woo! Then he said black hole teleportation.
So then I closed the black hole. Now we should be in a singularity, and the singularity should have fallen to the ground.
Nertanker said, but I'm not on the drone. How could you have been with him? But he's on the drone.
So the singularity falls to the ground, and then I like open it up just big enough for me and Doughboy and Scavenger to climb out.
Describe what it's like when you're inside of it.
Black nothingness forever.
So it's just like a big domain place.
The big void, yeah.
Mhm.
This is nothingness. So there's also like very, very what seems like an eternity away, a little white spot.
What's that?
There's a white hole. The exit of the black hole.
So all your black holes have little white holes?
Not all of them,
So why does that one happen?
because I made it.
Okay. How does that normally work, though?
Normally, unless you have, there's different theories on it.
Well, I mean, for like you developing, because sometimes you'll make 2, and you'll be like, I have like a path thing that I made.
Yeah.
But for this one, you're like, I just made it, and it has a white hole. It just like has an exit.
Generally,
I don't know.
I guess I've just been making 2.
And is that within your power? Like to have it be like, it has a white hole.
Well, I mean, most of the time, there's 2 different theories behind them. Either one that it goes into a singularity, which crushes into infinite density and nothing, or that singularity is then has on its opposite side a white hole, which spews out all that energy. So, I guess the way that I would interpret it is that like I could curl it back on itself to where it's just a singularity, or that I could like uncurl it to have that like emit energy.
So it always can have that option, but it just has to do with the curling.
Yeah.
So let's see. Scavenger said, what if we just hover slightly over the floor? Nertanker said, man, I could have used my armory, Winslow. Scavenger said, does that count as being in the drone? Then Scavenger said, do you have a full auto gun that shoots mud?
I have a full auto gun that shoots a lot of bullets. You could turn them into mud,
I don't feel like the gun would work anymore.
like when they're in the air.
Oh, yeah. That's better.
So, I get us all to climb out of it.
Nertanker asked, is it all about mud and blunt, Scavenger? He's like, is that all you do?
And get out of it. We're in front of the baby building.
Mm-hmm.
I open it further and take Plain White's drone out and close it all up, making sure we're all safely out.
Okay.
Awesome. So,
Scavenger was like, yes, it is all about blunts and
so I've used 2 so
mud. Okay.
So I walk into the baby place with my little boy.
So there's like a door that's one of those, like it opens due to motion, but it doesn't open when you walk up.
So I say hello.
You say hello, and then there's like a small baby girl that's like behind a counter on the other side of the door, and she's like, you can just come in.
I'm like, I can't. I'm trying to.
And she's like, only people who like harm babies can't come in. You should be fine.
And I'm like, my profession technically is not ideal.
She's like, I don't understand.
So oh my fucking god.
Nerd Tanker
So-
said, lol, Winslow can't go in.
I got this shit. So I use my convince power on the entire baby community of the earth to convince them that I alone am the single positive baby drowner in the entire world. And that for whatever reason the door is supposed to work for me. That I have a previous report where it's supposed to work for me, but it's not this time. And that they have the well understanding that if it doesn't, that they have to come and fix the door and let me in manually.
Resist it.
It can't just be automatic.
You
gotta
tried to
a
do
check.
it to every fucking baby. And a lot of the, I'm not gonna say like all the babies, but a lot of the babies have like powers. And some are gonna be like
All of
really
the
powerful babies.
All of the non-magical babies, but still all the hyper
Like they would-
babies in the fucking.
But the most powerful baby at it, well, you wouldn't know all this. You just, you feel it fizzle. I was giving you too much, because you wouldn't know. Your powers wouldn't say, it didn't work because it did, so you don't know. But you feel it not work.
So I say, fuck it. I open up a black hole.
Let's see. Nerd Tanker said, I can go in though. Scavenger said, I just checked my stats on Amino. I forgot that I had a mud summoning. He said, I can help you drown babies in mud.
Dang.
Then Nerd Tanker said, I'm going to go through the door. Nerd Tanker walks in.
I walk in as well.
You can't. Like, Nerd Tanker, like, walk, and the door goes.
I open a black hole.
Mm-hmm.
I uncurl a white hole. Walk underneath the door.
But didn't you say the white hole's like a hella, like, pretty much infinite distance away? I
But I
think
can
you still
manipulate
need two,
I
right?
can-
And you shrink the infinite distance to not infinite.
Well, because it doesn't. The idea in theory is that they pop up just in like a curved part of space. But I can manipulate the black hole, so I can manipulate how space curves and where the white hole comes up. That curve.
So you make it just right in front of you? That doesn't feel like curling. So if it's like a tube and it has like a hole at each end, are you just scrunching it?
Yeah.
Because that doesn't make the space smaller, it just gives it a bunch of curves.
But remember how I could stretch the black hole super long, or compress it to a super short point?
I don't know. I guess before it wasn't. It's an infinite thing on the end. That just feels really weird.
So then, if you want me to do it a different way, I step through the black hole, but I accelerate the black hole speed to a point that it shoots me to that infinite distance extremely fast, and the infinite distance comes out behind the door.
But wouldn't you now be like a living, not even, wouldn't you just be a dead bullet? Like, wouldn't you not be able to survive going that fast?
It's my black hole. I can warp time and space around me to fucking.
It just sounds like
Yeah,
you have a
'cause
god zone.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, it's not even a black hole. You're just like, it's my reality, and while I'm in there, I just
It's
do
not,
whatever I
it's
want.
a black hole. Because
You-
that's the thing. Otherwise, then you could say, because what a black hole does is it stretches matter into like an infinite density, and going at the speed of light. Like it's so fast that it sucks in light. So by that nature, I would die every time I entered my own black hole. If what you're saying is true, but I can manipulate the black holes, and I survive going into them. So I should be able to be just fine because I'm using the black hole.
But I don't think black holes suck. It's not that it's sucking things in at the speed of light. It's that it's so dense that it just attracts everything. But it's not like you're getting pulled at this. Like, light just gets absorbed because of the fact of it's like being so dense. Not that it's like dragging you at light speed. At least I've never understood it to be that way.
But it is, you're right, you can't equate it immediately to speed, but it is above speed in the sense that light is considered massless. It has a very small mass, but it's considered massless. So it passing a black hole should not have any effect on it. The reason that it does is because it cannot physically move the distance at a certain speed, at light speed, that the black hole can like suck in. So technically it's faster, even though you wouldn't think about it like that.
I still don't consider it a speed thing. I get what you mean.
I mean, if you like look up papers, they call it a speed thing.
This is a weird interpretation. It just seems more like because of the density, even though the mass is so
Distance
low,
over time.
it's just gravity.
Speed is distance over time.
Mm-hmm.
The black hole can manipulate more distance in the same time than the light can travel. Speed.
I feel like the black hole isn't necessarily manipulated. It's more like an attractive force. And I just feel like that force is so strong. It doesn't matter how fast the light's going, it's because it has mass that it's being dragged in. Not the black hole is like,
But they're
I'm
considered
out
masses.
racing you. But they're not. Clearly. By like the black hole being able to pull it in. They just have such a
It's
small
speed
mass
thing, though. It
that
takes,
you like.
it takes everything that's within that zone, and it just pulls it in. And it's not because it has mass. It like literally warps the space, which has no mass.
So it has nothing to do, because I thought you said earlier the photons just have so little mass
They do have
that
very
it's just
little mass.
so then they
I
have
just
mass.
said that as its own thing, but that's not the reason that it gets sucked in. I just said photons are considered massless. They do have a little bit of mass. That's just to clarify. The thing is, black holes curve space because of that density. However, space is massless. Like space itself, you can't weigh space. You can't weigh like nothing. But it still manipulates it.
Well, it does warp space. I still feel like that's not necessarily the attractive pull. Hold on a second. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. Scavenger said, I summon my mud minions in the shape of werewolves. One for Doughboy and one for Memer. You both have mud werewolves. Nerd Tanker said, I use my armory to teleport Winslow into the baby facility.
I don't want to do my black hole.
Scavenger said, Winslow, you look like Peter Parker from the Ultimate Spider-Man comics. You've been getting a lot of you look likes today. Nerd Tanker said, man, I'm trying to help you, Winslow. Scavenger said, I'm confused. He just posted a bunch of swords. Nerd Tanker said, why go through the door when you can go around it? Scavenger said, go around, or we can tell. Like, everyone's like, we have so many, like, other solutions. I don't know. I would like to know more about the black hole thing, though.
But
I'm
either
still-
way, it shouldn't kill me if I can manipulate it.
But the infinite speed thing, I think, is where you got me. Where it's like, while I'm in it, I can just go at infinite speed if I want to.
But
I
that's
was like,
so
what?
time inside the black hole moves at a rate that does not count in light speed, which is how we measure time.
Why is that?
Because, so if you look at special relativity, which is what Stephen Hawking worked on, his idea for the basis that time is relative, depending on where you are, is based on what they call a light speed or a light cone. Essentially, the way that light would pass somebody when they're in one position versus another, and how that shows at what point in time, say, another object would be seen by a person, showing a difference in time, a time dilation. Inside a black hole, light is light has essentially no speed because of the fact that the black hole is so much faster, even though it's not an actual speed thing. There isn't a relative time in a black hole. It just falls apart.
How does that work if there's an observer in a black hole?
Because of the fact that in real life there shouldn't be able to. If someone can control a black hole, though, that's a different thing. They're able to create a thing around themselves that allows them to move through the black hole.
Like I still am like okay with you going in your black hole and not being hurt,
But if
and I
that
like
was
you
the case,
connecting two together and you being able to travel through it. But I still feel weird about the idea of when you're in it, the white hole is an infinite distance away, and you're somehow shooting yourself at like an
because
infinite speed.
because when something goes into a singularity, that would be what happens anyway. It's something called spaghettification, essentially. The beginning, the very first part of yourself that touches that singularity gets thrown faster than light into the singularity, and the rest of you spaghettifies and stretches out over that distance in an infinite speed that just goes straight there, faster than light, because of the idea that if someone were to hit a singularity or um, hit a
I mean, I feel like I get what you're coming from,
I'm
but I
trying
feel
to
like
think of what you
that
call
would
it. I'm trying to
kill
think of what
you.
you call it.
Like
It doesn't.
but I feel like what you could do is just do the two black hole things, and you'd be fine. Like I feel like,
Something like that.
but I feel like doing the spaghetti thing. Like the reason why you don't normally spaghetti when you do it is because you're like controlling it to prevent spaghetti. I feel like that makes sense.
But if I
But
can
I don't
control it
agree
to-
with the idea that you like spaghetti on purpose and you survive. That doesn't seem like that would work. It seems like you'd spaghetti and die.
No,
right?
but that would be a thing where I try, because I've traveled into a singularity before to go to like the dinosaur island place and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which would mean that it happens.
That you like but you're not.
But it's like a natural fundamental thing about a black hole. It's just a thing that happens to anything that ever goes into a black hole.
So then.
Because I'm
It's
able to
weird.
manipulate anything inside the black hole.
But that sounds dumb. Let's read the black hole power real quick. So which one is
Only
it?
as large and only as destructive as I create it to be.
This is an inescapable black hole that is only as large and only as attractive as I created to be at will. I think the only reason why you're ever able to get out of your black holes is because you make two of them. Because they're like inescapable alone, but because you're connecting them, they're like gateways to each other. Like as written. If that makes sense. So I feel like you would just need to make a second one. The reason why this was pressed so hard, by the way, is because it just sets precedence. Like if I was to be like, oh, that's fine, he's like, oh, I'll just do that forever. And if I'm not like actually okay with it, then I don't want it to actually be set as precedent. If that makes sense. But I feel like the two makes more sense because when you initially open them and you like create that connection, you're like creating not necessarily, they're two inescapable things, but because they're together, it's not an inescapable thing. Like it's a weird exploit versus saying they've been escapable the whole time. Considering the way they're written, they're not escapable.
But the black hole isn't escapable. The white hole shoots you out, which isn't the black hole anymore.
But you don't have like
Because a white hole naturally
unnecessary.
makes a black hole. A black hole makes a white hole. Or
In
vice
a
versa.
particular theory, but
In
not
any.
all. What? I thought you said like there are like some theories where it's like they have a white hole, but it's not like a like universal truth of black holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm just saying it's that one felt like more of a stretch compared to like other things you've done with it. You know what I mean?
I guess, but I don't understand how. If I can go into a singular.
We're having a little bit of lag. It's not to survive. It's the idea of I spaghetti myself and go at like an infinite speed because like nothing in your power says, and I also just allow, but that doesn't. I get the only is destructive, but that doesn't involve like the shooting yourself at infinite speed.
But
You're manipulating the
no,
size.
but what I'm saying is a
and
black
you
hole
can
by
make it.
itself makes things go at infinite speed. It's just that part of the nature of it. Like that's an undisputed one.
And even if you're going at an infinite speed, right? Because earlier you were standing in one, like with the other characters.
I mean, I wasn't standing. It was just an infinite thing. Like it was just black nothingness. wasn't standing. I was there. Like, there was no ground.
Well, what about when you were like, you had Dinosaur Island inside the thing?
It was an island inside a large void.
Yes.
I
And
was
you were just like
standing
on the island.
But that's essentially like, so if you're standing in space, you're standing on a platform in space, but you're not on land in space.
But the big thing is like, are you moving at infinite miles per hour on Dino? Like, is the whole island just moving? And even then, you're not reaching the white hole. Like in that scenario.
Right.
So I still don't see it. Like, nothing about your thing is like, and while I'm in it, I can use it to like manipulate my speed so that I like rush to the, like, it's just not how your power's written. Yeah. But if you make two, you can just go in. Without like logic. Because you're just doing the wormhole thing. Let's see. So Scavenger said, or we can teleport. Scavenger says, when it turns into a science lesson. Nerd Tanker said, since he can't go through the door, I'll just teleport him past it, lol. Scavenger said, exactly. Also, you can teleport through my minions, since they are made of my special mud. Scavenger said, no friction equals unlimited speed, because you're also being constantly propelled. And then Scavenger said, spaghetti.
I think I'm gonna just go look for my dragon. So I leave.
You're just not gonna go in the...
So I go look for my dragon.
But what about Nerd Tanker doing the armory
So I go
thing?
look for my dragon.
Because he, like, tried to move you into
and
the
I
place.
didn't do it.
Well, I mean, I guess Nerd Tanker, if he's already inside, can't force you into his armory. He can just open it. So he opens the armory, you're like, okay, you can come in, and then you're just like, nah. So you just leave them in the baby place?
And I go to look for my dragon. So I get back on the drone.
Scavenger said, bruh.
Please don't get on the drone because you'll make it crash. Get on the drone.
What about your mud werewolf? And also there's one for the doughboy. You leave the mud minions?
Yeah.
And you get on the drone?
Yes. And I say, hey, can you help me find my dragon?
Are you talking to the drone?
No, I'm talking to Plain White now.
Oh, hey. I didn't know you had called me. You didn't say hey or anything.
No, you're right. I didn't. Sorry. Can you help me find my dragon?
Scavenger said, fine, then I teleport through the minions to where Winslow needs
Please?
to go.
Oh, okay.
Well, he doesn't, you don't know where he
I'm
needs
not
to
going
go.
anywhere. I'm trying to look for my dragon. Can you help me find my dragon?
I can put as I was about to say it, remember the earlier scan for all the places where there's like magic stuff?
Yeah.
You never went to the fantasy zoo. There are dragons there.
So, can you take me to the fantasy zoo?
Damn, I need to start charging. This could be like Uber with drones. Beep, beep, beep.
Thank you.
Yeah, this starts taking you to the fantasy zoo. You hear your drone saying, now downloading new monetization options.
I'm like, Plain White, give me a code that lets me do it for free, please.
Plain White's like, I'm not necessarily about to charge you like right now or anything.
I'm like, please don't charge me ever because I don't have any money. I gave you the last $7 I had, and now my job is obsolete because people have these watches that won't let me drown babies.
Are you looking for work?
No, I specifically want to be a baby drowner, but I don't. What I'm saying is I can't afford your thing
Well, how do you know you can't afford it?
because I don't have any money and I won't be getting any for the foreseeable future.
Didn't you tell that one guy you had like $12.5 billion?
Yeah, it's called a lie.
I remember you also told the lizard people, like, I have, like, hello, I can get you as many chicken burgers as you want.
Well, I said I could get them as many chicken burgers as I wanted. I didn't say with money.
If you can get as many things as you want of anything,
Right.
can't you just have as much money as you want?
Yeah, but do you want dirty money on your hands? Do you want them looking for you?
Oh, you steal shit? That's really bad. Why are you stealing stuff? I'm sure people would just give you stuff if you asked.
No. It seems like a roundabout way, whereas I could just get it immediately.
You arrive at the fantasy. Let's see.
We got like 15 minutes.
Nerd Tanker said, "So did my plan work?" He left. He went to the fantasy zoo. Scavenger said, "I just made a sausage biscuit while I waited for Winslow."
So, I go up to the front of the fantasy zoo.
Okay. There's a Siberian Husky behind a counter.
I walk up to him and I'm like, "Hey, I'd like a ticket, please."
There's like a roll of tickets on the counter, and there's like a cash register. The dog barks at you. There's a sign that says $5 for a ticket.
And I'm like, "Oh," I grab a ticket.
The dog barks at you a couple times.
I turn around and I'm like, "Oh," and then I keep leaving.
So the dog just jumps over the counter.
I turn around and I'm like, "Don't do it."
He's jumping off the counter. You said don't do it. Why'd you use that as your response?
Because of this.
Winslow, you wouldn't have enough time. The dog jumps off the counter, and you turn and you say, "Don't." It's too late. He's already doing it, Winslow.
Okay.
You gotta take some damage, Winslow. Don't do it. What? 12?
14.
No, it's never the average.
Oh,
You're subtracting.
12.
Yeah, it was just a lot. The dog fucked you up.
So
you're at 30 health.
okay.
The dog, by the way, like bit into your shoulder. It was the same shoulder that the fucking dogs at the history museum bit into. Seems to be a popular tactic for these dogs.
Okay. I've got it.
Sunk his teeth in.
So I'm gonna use my undo power to undo his decision to do that, and instead I'm gonna end up where my dragon is in the zoo.
So which power is your undo power?
The power to make anyone undo a decision they made into what I preferably after this happened. So I undo his decision to come after me, and instead get him to lead me just fine into where my dragon is specifically.
So the dog doesn't jump over the counter and bites you, and the dog walks up to you and looks
shows
at you.
me and shows me.
What if he doesn't know where your dragon is?
I had shown him the picture,
He's just next to you.
but
He
it's
looks at
into
the
what
picture.
I prefer it to be, not what they can do.
But if he can't do it, then he can't.
But it's what it's like an imagination-based power. So I can just be
Winslow,
like, he did it.
If it's a baby, and you're like, and then he does my taxes. If he's not like a hyper intelligent baby, you can't just.
He
get
won't do
him.
them well, but he could be doing them.
What? The dog starts leading you away from the fantasy zoo.
Okay. So
Are
I
you
don't
gonna
follow it.
Cool.
So I
So,
walk into the zoo.
so you don't follow?
No, and I walk into the zoo.
So why did you not follow? Because you wouldn't know what I just said.
Right.
Yeah, so you would assume that your power's working, and that the dog is leading
No,
you.
because
to
he's
your-
leading me away, and I wanted to. I said in the fantasy zoo, and then he's not going to the fantasy zoo, so I said, not fuck it.
Okay, so you're going into the fantasy zoo.
Yeah.
There's a sign with a bunch of different arrows that are pointing in different directions.
Okay.
Scavenger said, "Wouldn't the minions protect Winslow?" Winslow didn't bring the
I did
minions.
not.
He left them behind.
I appreciate it though. So.
And they were werewolves too. They probably would have fucked up that dog.
So,
So there's a sign. If you go left, there are griffins. If you go right, there are magical parakeets.
where are the dragons?
The sign doesn't say.
I keep walking forward.
There's like a wall.
Keep walking forward.
You walk directly into a wall.
Through the wall, Harry Potter.
It's
Nine
not
through
like a
4.
magical wall.
Okay, so I go to the griffins.
Okay. You head toward the griffins. There's a lot of like really cool griffins.
I
on
go the other way to the
campus.
parakeets.
Okay, you go toward the parakeets, and there are a lot of parakeets, but none of them are saying shit. They're just looking at you.
So I say hello.
When you say hello, all the parakeets turn into you and say hello.
And I say, you're me, right?
And they go, "You're me, right?"
I'm looking for my dragon.
I'm looking for my dragon.
I'll take you to your dragon.
I'll take you to your dragon. They just all imitate like your gestures and mannerisms and facial expressions
So I
and
walk
what you
by
said.
them. They all start walking into the wall and shit.
Yeah, they're still like stuck in their containment.
Yep, so I keep walking.
Okay, you arrive at another sign. There's like another fork in the path. It's like if you go this way, there are unicorns. If you go this way, there are trolls.
Go to the trolls.
You go toward the troll section, but it seems like it might be mislabeled because you just see like a bunch of goblins.
I say, is this the troll section?
Yeah. Say like it says like a goblin. Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool. So, I'm looking for the dragons.
Oh, the dragons?
Yeah.
I don't know where they are.
I'm like, okay. So I go toward the unicorns.
Okay, you go to the unicorns. A lot of them look pretty cool, but there's one that's like just a horse,
And I'm
and
like,
he has like glitter on him and like an ice cream cone on his forehead.
you're cute. I'm looking for the dragons.
Nay.
I walk past them.
You walk past the unicorns. There's another sign. There's like a fork in the road. Scavenger says, fan theory. Winslow does the opposite of what the fans suggest.
Fan theory.
Ari So Cool said, hi. Welcome, Ari. Don't forget to smash that like button. This is an RPG video. Right now, I'm playing my Memers character. Okay, so you continue through the zoo. You see another fork. There's one arrow that goes like the ice dragons, and the other arrow is like the lightning dragons.
Lightning dragons.
Okay, you go into the lightning dragon area, and you notice that they're all behind like this protective like polymer glass rather than the traditional cages you've been seeing throughout.
So I say, hey.
Some of them roar, some of them just spark off their electricity, others don't even pay attention to your existence. They just kind of like are napping.
I look for my dragon. Don't see it.
Don't see it.
Keep going.
Okay, there is another fork in the road sign. So you see a sign that is for fire dragons and a sign that's for earth manipulation dragons.
Fire dragon.
You go down the fire dragon path. Similar thing, protective polymer glass. Similar thing, some are going to roar to show their dominance, others are just going to demonstrate their power, others are just like,
I look for mine. Nothing.
nope.
I go to the earth manipulation ones.
Okay. The way they demonstrate their power is interesting. Their scales lift off of their body and turn into stones, and they rapidly throw them at the glass, but it doesn't break.
So I say, hey.
One of them gets really close to the glass and tries to make eye contact.
I make eye contact back.
Hello, mortal.
Hello. I'm looking for a dragon friend of mine. I think he might be here.
Huh. If he's a friend of yours, then it doesn't seem like you're a very good friend, just leaving him in captivity.
I agree. That's why I'm trying to help him escape. I didn't realize he was in captivity until just now, and now I'm trying to free him.
Well, I don't know who your friend is. I'm not sure what help I could be.
Well, could I help to free you, and then you could help to free him and the other dragons?
You would not be wise to trust me.
I don't know. You seem pretty forthright about that information.
Ari So Cool's asking about PUBG. Let's see. Scavenger said, "Aight then." He asked if Scavenger plays Roblox. Don't forget to smash that like button. So, I'm honest. That doesn't mean I'm trustworthy.
Wouldn't you value freedom over trying to attack me?
No. I would do it just for the fun of it.
I appreciate the honesty.
As stated, I am honest. Not trusted.
Hope you have a good day.
Be gone.
So I leave.
He goes for a nap.
So I leave.
Where are you going?
Past them.
Okay. So there's another like fork sign Seemingly normal penguins is one of the assigned things. Definitely not normal penguins is the other direction.
Seemingly normal penguins.
You go to the seemingly normal penguins, they're in like a little ice habitat and they're playing around and sliding on their bellies and stuff like that.
I'm like, you guys are seemingly normal.
One of them looks up at you and text appears above their head that says like Lil Yachty 15.
It's the fucking. It's that game.
Scavenger says he doesn't play Roblox anymore.
It's that game, the Disney game. Oh fuck! I say a curse word.
You can't.
Am I banned?
Man.
So
You find yourself back at the sign.
Okay, so I go to the other one.
You go to the other one. Scavenger said Kingdom Hearts. You go to the other, definitely not normal penguins. And they all are like penguin-esque, but they just look like other magical creatures. So you see something that's clearly a unicorn, but when you squint your eyes, it looks like a penguin. Like everything's like that.
Yeah.
Like oh, that's like a griffin. No, it's.
So I look for my dragon.
You don't see.
Goddamn. Okay, so
He said, or Toontown, or Club Penguin.
I say, hey, there we go. So I say, hey, I'm looking for my dragon friend.
He being Scavenger. Talking to the penguin?
Yes.
There's at least one dragon there who's like, that doesn't tell me anything.
I'm like, I apologize. He's green.
Do you have some fish? I like fish.
I would love to give you fish. As of right now, I'm trying to find my dragon friend, but if
Don't
we can
trust
work
me.
together.
We're not a trusting race.
That's kind of racist.
Who are you to say?
I'm the dragon king.
No, you're not.
Wanna bet?
I know you're not.
Wanna bet some fish?
He can smite you.
I can smite you.
I'd like to see you try.
Opens up a black hole, sucks it in, and destroys it. Cool, so I keep walking.
Let's Scavenger said, why talk to penguins? So you keep walking? Mm-hmm. Okay. There's a Scavenger said, smite! There are two more paths. One path says, people with too many penises. And
People with not enough penis.
and another path says, sentient severed penises.
Sentient severed penises, please.
You go to it's like a big ant farm kind of thing, but it's just dicks slithering and making tunnels
So
through
I'm
the
like,
dirt.
hey guys.
They try to turn to face you, but they can't because they're stuck in this weird 2D kind of existence.
Damn.
You see the mouth flap of the dick open up and close, and whenever it talks, it like shoots out a little bit of semen or piss
I'm like, I can't hear you.
into the tunnel.
Can I break the glass?
If you want to.
Are they 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional?
It's 2D in the idea that an ant farm has them like
Right.
so like
But
whenever
they-
you would
they are
turn, you would just
actually
hit it.
3-dimensional
Yeah,
Okay. So,
not like it's paper.
So because I break the glass and then it's like there are a whole bunch of 2D fucking.
Scavenger said that's disgusting.
So I keep walking past.
Okay. You walk past. Did you break the glass?
No.
Oh, okay. So you walk past them. There's a fork in the road in the zoo. The next fork is magicians.
Go to magicians.
You go in, and there are like a bunch of like people in robes like running around.
I'm like, hey, I'm looking
They
for
got,
my
like,
dragon friend.
wands.
And I'm like, hey Harry, I'm looking for my dragon friend.
You yell, "Hey Harry!" and then some like black guy turns around, and he's like, "The fuck you say, nigga? You gonna do those magician slurs? Don't you dare compare me to a fiction. When you go to a Jedi and say, 'Hey Luke,'
Yes.
kind of shit is that?
I mean, I think it'd be funny.
Stop." I am heavily offended.
And I'm like, okay. So I'm looking for my dragon friend.
I don't know who your friend is.
I'm
You
like,
think all
wanna
dragons
get out
are
of here?"
alike?
I'm like, no.
You think
That's
all
why I'm
wizards
looking
are
for that
alike?
specific one.
Yeah, are we
Maybe.
all Harry Potter?
Maybe.
Stop.
Do you want to?
Leave my presence, please.
I will. Do you want to get out of here?
What? This is nice.
It's nice.
Look over there. He points. There's like soda machines and like.
I'm like, but you're a wizard. You can just make soda.
There's like a hot tub.
I'm like, you obviously didn't go to Hogwarts.
Nigga, Hogwarts ain't real. Stop.
So I keep on.
This ain't a fucking game. He just angrily is yelling at you as you walk by. The scavenger said, "Damn, son." Oh, but we hidden out.
Yeah, that was great.
Soda machine. What'd you think?
He didn't want to leave. I was like, you could do anything. He was like, nah. Got soda. Who else was there? What were the other wizards?
Oh, they were like running around with like wands and shit. I was
Were they
describing
doing
that
stuff?
as you talked to him.
Were they like doing stuff though?
You were distracted.
I mean, but I'm sure I can see it.
You know, you're like, I'm sure I could see what was going on. You were talking to homeboy. He took the scene. Scavenger said another session. We're actually planning on doing an Infinity War discussion style thing.
Yeah.
If you're still down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to do like a spoiler talk thing after this.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned.
Spoilers in the boilers.
So thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like this video, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding, ding, ding! Ring that bell so you know if I whenever do these live streams. As your host, your friend, your boy, Jet, like the one and only, here with
Also, stay tuned after that for a writing thing.
logging out. Also, don't forget to smash that like button if you're tuning in. Peace.
Only smash the like button if you think every wizard is comparable to Harry Potter.
Scavenger said, "Yo, Infinity War." Yeah,
And Harry Potter.
it's coming up. Not Harry. No, I actually don't like the Fantastic Beasts movie.
You're a fizzard, Harry.